Hello students, let's read the problem. And it says, look at the sequence shown below. What is the 15th term? Record your answer and fill in the bubbles on the grid below. Okay, so we're looking for the what? The 15th term. Okay, so notice how right now, this is the way that I am going to show it to you to know what do I mean by the 15th term. Number 4 is the first term that is given to you. Is that right? Number 9 is your second, 14 is your third, and this is your fourth. So if I was to continue, I'm looking for the one that is on what place? On the 15th term. Okay? So there's different ways that you can do it. I know some students that they said, Miss, can I just find the pattern? Right? And continue the pattern until I reach 15 or the term 15? And the answer can be yes, right? But what if they were asking you find the 100th term? Are you going to continue writing all the numbers until you reach the 100th? It's kind of like a lot, right? Exactly. So what we're going to do is we're going to find another way to do it. Okay? So we have a formula that I'm hoping that you remember, that this one is called your explicit. So I'm going to write it down over here. It's my explicit formula. Okay? And if there are some items in the formula that you do not know or you're not familiar with, we're going to write them down right now. For example, A12, right? It means my first term of my sequence. Okay, so in this case, A12 will be, and I'm going to write it down here, will be my 4. Is that right? Okay, very good, because that's the first number that is given to me. Okay, now let's continue. What about D? What does the D represent? Okay, D is your common difference. Okay, so think about difference. Isn't that like when you're subtracting? Yes, it is, right? When you subtract, therefore, I am going to subtract 9 minus 4, and that's a 5. So the common difference is 5. And 14 minus 9, it's also a 5. And 19 minus 14 is still a 5. So my common difference here is going to be 5. Very good, okay? So we have that right now. So let's start with the explicit formula, okay? So I'm going to write down a sub n equals a sub 1 plus d parentheses n minus 1. So the first thing we're going to do is we need to come up with an equation that we can actually use to find the 15th term, okay? So I'm going to have a sub n equals a sub 1, we agree that it was 4, and the d is the common difference, which is a 5. I'm going to write down everything inside the parentheses, okay? So I do notice parentheses, which means I am going to use distributive property to work it out. So I'm going to have a sub n equals 4 plus 5 times n is 5n, and 5 times a negative 1 is minus 5. Okay? Now I can actually combine like terms. So I can combine 4 minus 5, right? Not the 5n. 5n is going to stay the same. 4 minus 5, it's negative 1. So I'm going to write down minus 1. And that will be my formula, right? And now I know that I am looking for n when n is 15. So my next step will be finding a of 15. So right there where the n is, I am going to replace it with 15. Very good. Okay. And 5 times 15, it's 75. And I am going to take away 1. So a of 15 is equals to 74. Exactly. That's my answer right there. Okay. And what is the question asking me? They wanted me to find the 15th term, right? So what I'm going to do is I am going to write down my answer 74 on the grid, right? So that's a positive. So I'm going to write down positive. And this is my 74. Now remember, if you have a positive, it will not be wrong, it will not be counted wrong if you do not bubble it in, okay? Because it's understood that it's a positive, but I like doing it, okay? So this will be 7 and a 4. And that will be the answer for us.